If you're like most women over the age of 40, you probably already know how to diet, right? You know how to cut calories, you know how to add in activity or extra cardio, do what it takes to make the scale move, at least for a little while. But here's the thing that doesn't get talked about enough. Your body fights back. So if you try to live in cut mode and fat loss mode and weight loss mode forever, you end up tired, hungrier, stuck with slower results, and frustrated because you're doing all the things that used to work before and now they don't. So the real key, the secret, the missing ingredient, the thing that most people miss is that in order to have a deficit, you have to first be above it. The deficit is the drop. So the magic isn't staying in the deficit. It's in actually knowing when to stop, when to pause, when to reset, when to rebuild so that your results can actually last. When you live constantly in cut mode, that is always going to backfire because of everything that's really going on inside of your body. I talked a little bit more about this in the episode on diet breaks, so I'll link to that. But the very generic breakdown of it is that when you keep dieting without giving yourself any break, your burn slows down. So your body is going to adapt to less food. Your resting metabolism dips, your spontaneous movement, your NEAT, your non-exercise activity drops. You become more efficient at conserving energy. And that means that it starts to feel like your metabolism is broken, but it's not broken. It's just protecting you from weight loss because it feels like that is actually a danger to keeping you alive. The second thing that happens is that your hunger hormones kick in. You have your leptin, which is what tells your body that you're full, that starts to drop. So now your body doesn't recognize fullness. While at the same time, your ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, starts to rise. So you're hungrier and you're not getting full from it. So you can see how that shift over time would start to sabotage your result. And the thing is that that's not just happening when you're dieting. That change sticks around for months after the diet has even ended. So this is why a lot of times, even when people do the metabolism reset, they're like, I just feel so hungry. I feel like I can just eat and eat and eat forever. What's going on? Will it ever stop? Will I ever stop stuffing my face? That's why you see shows like The Biggest Loser, where the contestants 6 years later, their metabolism is still burning 700 calories less than what they expected, what it should have been years after the show, because that's what happens when you diet too aggressively for too long. So the bottom line is that if you never come up for air, then your body learns how to survive on less. So each new diet is going to feel harder than the one before it. So that's what you want to think about your maintenance phases as. And that's why maintenance is so important, because maintenance is the coming up for air. It's where you protect your hormones, it's where you protect your muscle, it's how you protect your metabolism, and it's how you make sure that your next fat loss phase, your next cut, the next time you diet, the next time you go to lose weight, it actually works. If you never ever go to maintenance, then how can a deficit work? It's not a deficit. If there's nothing here, then there's nothing here. If you're here, then this is maintenance. So the only other option is to keep dropping it down, right? You're constantly basically going to the floor. So instead of digging a deeper hole, what you want to do is to actually raise the ceiling so that when you make those drops, they still make sense to your body. So when you have those breaks, whether they are daily, weekly, monthly, like we talked about in the diet break video, those breaks are going to improve your results. So the studies show that when you're alternating diet weeks with maintenance weeks, that actually leads to more fat loss. So this is why a lot of times with my clients, we'll do shorter bouts of dieting and then we'll have 1 or 2 weeks of maintenance, because the studies show that even the 2 weeks on and the 2 weeks off gives you better results than if you were just dieting all the way straight through. That's hard for a lot of women to grasp because of the fact that they feel like I'm going 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. Most of the time, they just want to keep pushing. They don't feel like they deserve the break yet. The second thing is that when you have those strategic refeeds, so whether you're doing the breaks of 2 on and 2 off, 3 on and 1 off, however you're working those, it's also important to understand that even those refeeds within your diet plan can help to protect muscle. This is why you'll often hear people talk about having a high carb day or zigzagging their carbs or their calories or whatever. It's because when you actually do it strategically, that comes from the bodybuilding community because they're trying to cut fat, but they want to preserve muscle because that's what they want to see on the stage. So even just a couple of those higher carb days help to preserve the lean muscle, and that can help your resting metabolism when you're in a cut. So making sure that you're feeding that muscle intermittently. And again, maintenance is what's going to help you to train better, but it also helps you stick to the plan more. So that's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration, is that when you do have those bumps in calories or that refeed day, that high carb day, that maintenance week, you hit the gym and you suddenly have more energy than you did before. Then you're getting so much more out of your workout, not to mention that if you always know that that refeed or maintenance day or maintenance week or diet break or reset is around the corner, it actually helps you to adhere to the current plan even better because of the fact that you know that I can do anything for 2 weeks because then I'm going to get a week or two off over here. So it's twofold in the fact that you're going to maximize the efforts in the workouts, but also you can stick to the plan for a little bit longer. So even though it's really hard for a lot of people to grasp taking those breaks, it's important to recognize that maintenance isn't going backwards. Maintenance isn't losing ground. It's what actually locks in the progress. So it's actually going to help you to have the results for longer because, again, remember, we're talking about raising your baseline. It's not about constantly digging a deeper hole. So most people miss that, especially when we talk about something like extended diet breaks and metabolism resets, where you're taking these full-on breaks from dieting for 30, 60, 90 days or more, doing 3 months, 6-month metabolism resets of giving your body time to reestablish that baseline and raise the floor again before you go back to lowering the ceiling. And so when you do that, then when you go to cut again, it's like you can get those first time results again because of the fact that you took the time to raise that baseline back up. So just always remember that a deficit can only be a deficit if there was at some point a surplus. If you raise things back up, then the deficit can matter again. And this is really important for women over the age of 40 to recognize because of the fact that so many women, once they hit their late 30s, early 40s, 50s, they start blaming age. And the research just doesn't support that. The research actually shows that from the time you're 20 to the time you're 60, your metabolism stays relatively the same unless certain factors change. Muscle mass being one of the biggest ones. So if you are moving less and reducing your muscle mass, those are the only reasons why your metabolism would be slowing down. And guess what? Both of those things are things that you can absolutely control. So blaming it on the age, not so much. Blaming it on the lifestyle that has adapted as you age is going to be more of what the issue is. Because we're talking about the things that affect metabolism, the movement, and the muscle, every once in a while, taking some time to actually go into a rebuild phase, rebuilding some of the muscle mass that has been lost over the years due to inactivity, due to extreme dieting, whatever the case may be, having those rebuild sessions on top of the maintenance is what is going to make the results stick for good. And the women that are most successful at this, the women that are most successful in keeping the weight off, they understand that it's not just about chasing endless cuts. It's not just about cutting and doing fat loss phases and losing weight into oblivion. It's about cycling them, and they know how to cycle them on purpose. And when you learn this secret, it's where all the magic happens. So maintenance is not wasted time. It's the reason that your next fat loss phase will actually succeed. So make sure that even if you want to lose fat, even if you want to jump into a fat loss phase, whether it's now, maybe whether it's next year, whether it's spring, whether it's you're getting ready for summer or having your bikini body, whatever the case may be, make sure you schedule in some downtime where you are purposely eating more, and bonus points doing a rebuild if that is something that is needed. Be sure to check out this video for more information on the metabolism reset.